And have you seen ebbs and flows in direct mail, or what's that look like over just longer terms? How's that looked to you, or has it just been just steady the whole time?
That's a great question. I
Mhm.
believe right now the response is we have the lowest response rate that we've had since I've been sending mail,
True.
which is probably around since 1999. So I think there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, there seems to be, Jill and I were researching this earlier today, this wait and see attitude in real estate. I don't know exactly what that's about. It might be election related. It might be interest rates and mortgage rates are extremely high comparatively over the last several years. So, but there's just this wait and see. And also, I think there's no denying it any longer. The mail scenario has a little saturated. There's a lot of mail going out for all product types.
True.
So, what we've done is expand our product type.
Mhm.
We're actively buying and selling mobile homes and single family residential property in rural areas.
Mhm.
When did you make that move?
Probably this year. We've
And
always done it in the background. We just haven't really talked about it, but
Right.
we've really stepped it up
That's
recently.
it.
And I'll tell you, it's a different acquisition. There's different responsibilities during the acquisition when you buy uh, a vertical structure.
True.
You can't just sit comfortably behind your desk. There's some stuff that you got to get out in the field and do it. We just spent 6 months in an RV going
No
up
way.
all through the Rocky Mountains. We're looking at these little rural towns, and it was a blast, first of all,
Yeah.
and it was really profitable.
And
I
very informational.
really learned a lot.
Yeah.
What's like the coolest thing you saw on that trip? The most interesting land deal, the biggest learnings? Like, tell a little bit about that. Sounds cool. Awesome.
The variance, and for me,
Yeah.
it was the variance in prices
Yep.
on a single rural town block. There's $3 million house next to a $400,000 house, and the asset, which just reeks of profit for us.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And the asset difference doesn't warrant that kind of spread.
True.
So, what's your approach when you see something like that?
To send out mail,
Buy it.
yeah, we get
There's
first-
opportunity there.
Jill's an expert at
Yeah.
getting a local phone number and a local mailbox, within hours
Yeah.
of us
Mhm.
arriving.
Oh, I'll befriend people. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No
Nice.
problem. That's the thing. If it's all real consistent and there's real easy numbers, it's no variance there, then everybody knows this is what I should sell for, kind of thing.
Mhm.
But when it's all over the map, there's so much opportunity. And you don't know how to put a number to that unless you have some experience. That's the hard part. So, but for us, I'm like, woohoo. When I go into a market where he does the front end, he's a data guy, he picks the market, phones coming in, and I'm going to look at comps and I'm like, there's not many. You did this on purpose. I know you did. It's all over the place because then I get to set the number now. I'm like, this is what we're paying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not rocket science. An economist would call it a market inefficiency.
Yeah.
So if you can picture like condominium complex that's in a high rise and it's got 100 units, that's a pretty efficient market. The
Mhm.
variance in the prices are what those assets trade for. It's not very wide,
Yeah.
but a rural SFR market is just by definition very inefficient, which is good for us.
And so, are you finding those markets driving around and visually looking for discrepancies in the type of houses? Or are you doing the data research and then driving in, or are you approaching that?
Data research first, always. I have a short little list of what makes a rural town attractive from a
Yeah.
buyer's perspective and what doesn't. If it needs to have one or two big employers. In a lot of these mountain towns, it's in a university or the
Oh,
hub of a healthcare system. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess with your background in healthcare, that ties in. I bought some property out in Hernando, Mississippi, which is 30 minutes from Memphis, but that's the big hub for Amazon warehouse distribution. So a little bit of that concept there. So you're looking for where there's a job market, a growing job market, and then you're looking for some sort of variance. If you're looking at 3 bedrooms, there's $3 million houses and there's $400,000 houses. And then what else interesting are you looking for in those rural markets?
So the first thing I do is I go to realtor.com/research. And there they have multiple download options for all the statistics, or not all, but very pertinent statistics per zip code that will allow you to line up zip codes and make decisions about where we point the RV. For instance, one of the first statistics in that download, it's a spreadsheet. It's more than 1 million lines. and it compares each zip code statistically. And the first statistic that I look at is the increase in value month over month and year over year. So if a zip code has an SFR or all real estate types, and it's got a 10% increase year over year for this trailing month, now it's got my attention. If it's minus 10%, which is not that uncommon now, it's not, that the demand won't be high enough for us to go in there and buy assets and liquidate them quickly.
True.
Mhm.
There's
And
no
so-
dartboard in our office. Everything
Yeah.
he does, it's
all data driven.
yeah. It tells you where to mail.
Mhm.
It tells him.
And then I can
Yeah.
make her phone ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then she can close the deals.
I
That's
can
awesome.
do that.
That's awesome.